Satnam, welcome everybody. Today we continue to work with the idea of freedom, focusing particularly today on creativity. What is creative freedom? What does it mean to be free? And before we get completely hung up in the idea that creativity is fine art, we have to remember that creativity is something that we do all the time. Every moment of every day we are creating. As I sit here speaking to you right now, I'm creating with my words. When I walk through the supermarket, I am creating. Every single thing we do is creation. But for most of us, this creation is running on old programs from the subconscious mind with thoughts and behaviors and ideas that really no longer serve us. And so we find ourselves very often in these same old patterns of behavior, these same old ways of thinking and being, and we can't understand why we're stuck. So we begin to recognize that to be free to create is to let go of these old limiting beliefs, thoughts, behaviors that keep us creating unconsciously as we start to create fully consciously. What does that mean? It means that we're able to authentically express ourselves all the time. Most of us would say that our lives are not necessarily ones of our choosing. If we were to say, what is an ideal day in my life? How would I choose to spend every single day? How many of us can say, oh, yes, that's absolutely me. Every day is a day that feels fulfilling and purposeful. And we have this belief that we get usually in childhood, that well, you don't get to do what you want to do all the time, and you just got to suck it up because that's the way life is. And it really isn't. We get to choose to create a life within the parameters of what's possible every single day. We are not living fatalistic lives that are being dictated by a greater source or the environment that we live in. In fact, our lives are one of our choosing. Every moment of every day, we are choosing the life that we have. We are creating the life that we live. Whether we do it consciously or unconsciously depends on the quality of that life, on the enjoyment and fulfillment that we get from it. So if we can choose consciously to create from a space of awareness rather than those old thought patterns, those old beliefs and behaviors, we start to notice that actually I'm in complete control of my life all the time. And this is a very beautiful, very empowering thing for us, because the moment we feel like we're not in control or that we're not creating, we just come back to that awareness, to that truth, that actually, even if I'm unhappy with the situation that I'm in, I have the power to change it. So that's what we're going to be working with today. This idea of expressing ourselves authentically and creatively, creating consciously, rather than falling into the trap of believing that we don't have control over our lives. As we work with this idea of creativity, we work very strongly into two particular chakras. We work with Svadhisthana, which is the sacral chakra located in the area of the sex organs. Of course, as we know, this is where we create life. It's where our ideas are born. It's where we solve our problems. So this creative area, very, very strong creative area here in Svadhisthana chakra. And the other chakra that we work with in the idea of consciously creating our lives is, of course, the throat, Vishuddha. Now, we ask ourselves, well, how is that possible? What does that mean? Why would we need the throat chakra in creative expression? And of course, it comes in expression, because when we live our truth, when we speak our truth, the throat chakra is balanced and working optimally. But when we're maybe not speaking our truth, when we're maybe living the lives that we or others tell us that we need to be living and we're not being authentic, we need to work with the throat chakra. So little clues that maybe the throat chakra is unbalanced or a little bit unhappy. Perhaps you get sore throats. Not, of course, that we did mention a sore throat in the time of COVID. Or maybe you find that you have a scratchy throat, or you're constantly clearing your throat. And of course, these are little clues that maybe I'm not being as authentic as I'd like to be. Maybe I'm not expressing myself in a way of absolute truth and awareness. So that's what we're going to be working with today, the throat and the sacral chakras. We're going to tune in. So let's come to a comfortable seated posture. Tailbone tucks under, spine lengthens, shoulders relax, chin very gently tucked in towards the throat. And just take a few breaths here, connecting into that space of awareness, coming into your body. Beautiful. Bring your hands together and hands to your heart center. Take a beautiful, long, deep inhalation and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And let's inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I honor the primal wisdom that has always existed. I honor the wisdom of the past and the wisdom of the future. And I honor the wisdom of here and now. I honor the wisdom of water that washes away my fears. The wisdom of water that invites my emotions. I honor the wisdom of fire that burns away my anger and ignites that which needs to be seen and heard within me. I honor the wisdom of earth, this beautiful wisdom that holds and supports me. I honor the wisdom of air, the winds that blow, bringing hope and faith and love. And I honor the wisdom within me, the true Guru that exists inside of me. You can bring your hands to your knees and just start moving through spinal flexors, inhaling as you lift up and exhaling as you drop down, softening your face, relaxing your jaw. And just allowing your spine to gently awaken, inviting this flow of energy and movement in your body. Trusting the wisdom in the body. And come to center, move to a Sufi Grind. Keeping freedom in the movement, shoulders relax, jaw relaxes, feeling the weight of the eyes. Connecting to the primal wisdom. And change direction. Allowing your breath to sync with your movement. Beautiful, focusing on your breath and your movement. And coming up to center. Hands to your shoulders, fingers forwards, thumbs backwards. Inhale left, exhale right. Elbows lifted. And come to center and release. And then you can open out your legs, take them as wide apart as you can get them. Inhale, center, and exhale, reach your chin towards your toes. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Beautiful, keep going. Exhale, coming a tiny bit closer towards your thighs. And inhale, come up to center, turn to the right. Exhale, relax down. Softening, surrendering. And then bring your right elbow in front of your right knee, open your chest. If you can, grab hold of your big toe. Take your gaze upwards and reach up with your arm. Keep opening your chest. And with your shoulder pulling backwards and your chest open, reach your hand over towards your big toe. Keep rolling the shoulder open. And coming back up to center, right hand to left knee, lift and twist as you look over your left shoulder. Stay active, lifting up and twisting round. Beautiful. And turn to face the left leg and relax here. Use your exhale to intensify the stretch. Each exhale softening just a tiny bit more. And then bring your left elbow in front of your left knee. If you can, grab hold of your big toe. Open your chest, raise your right arm up, take your gaze upwards. Beautiful. And then if you can keep the chest open, bring your hand down towards your big toe. And just breathing into it. And coming up to center, left hand to right knee, lift up and twist round. Inhale up, exhale round. Stay with the breath. Back to center and relax here. Softening, surrendering. And gently curling up and extending your legs out in front of you. Now, if it's possible for you, sit on your left foot, right leg extended. If there's any pain in your knee, you must, of course, bring your foot to the inside of your thigh. So see what feels right. Take a beautiful, long, deep breath in. And exhale, stretch forwards. Now you grab hold of your big toe if you can reach. And then we apply the 3 locks. Mulband, lifting the pelvic floor. Uddiyana Band, pulling the belly into the spine. And Jalandhar Band, keeping the neck in line with the spine. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold here. We're going to take a long, deep breath in. Hold the breath for as long as you can. And when you need to exhale, release the breath and then continue. Inhaling and holding. And let's go. Deep breath in. Hold the breath in. Be very conscious of your blocks. You want to keep your spine straight. The neck stays in line with the spine. And we're holding those bandhas. Mulband, Uddiyana Band at the belly, and neck lock. Chin tucked slightly in towards the neck. So this whole torso is beautifully active. Exhaling when you need to, and then inhaling and holding once again. Keep your focus on your breath. Each time your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the breath. Make sure those bandhas are active. Root lock, navel lock, and neck lock. Now, many of the sources, the texts that I've been researching since we've stepped away from Kundalini Yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan have cited this particular posture, Mahamudra, as one of the most powerful yogic exercises that we can do. One of the texts had some quite fantastical claims that it will cure digestive issues, leprosy, and all other diseases. So I think we need to take those sweeping claims with just a pinch of salt, but there's no doubt that it really is hugely beneficial. And complete the cycle that you're on, coming up and changing sides, sitting on your right foot, Left leg is extended. Apply root lock, navel lock, neck lock. Stretch forwards and grab hold of the big toe. And again, deep inhale. And hold the breath for as long as you need to. Keep the pressure on the big toe if you are holding your big toe. And stay focused with those blocks, making sure that all of the bandhas, those 3 bandhas, are active. That really is the key to this posture, is keeping those 3 bandhas, those 3 locks active. Beautiful, staying present with it. Really using the breath to come to presence and awareness. And while Maha Mudra may not cure all diseases, it certainly has an astounding effect on the body and our wellness. Last few seconds, stay with that breath, retaining the breath for as long as you comfortably can, and then exhaling and releasing. And completing the round that you're on, coming up, extend both legs out in front of you, coming to staff pose. And we see the sacred geometry that we're creating with our bodies, this beautiful right angle. Take a lovely long deep breath in. Hold the breath. Squeeze Mulband. Lift the pelvic floor, the anal muscles, and visualize the breath as a beautiful healing white light. Imagine this white light as it moves through your body, touching every single cell. Take more breath in. Hold it. And exhale and just remain here in stillness. Tune into the subtle, refined flow of energy within the stillness. In yoga, we create angles in our bodies. This is why alignment becomes so important. Each angle allowing the flow of energy. Beautiful. And then stretch forwards. Grab hold of your ankles or wherever you can comfortably hold. Inhale up and exhale as you come down. Moving quickly and powerfully. And again, just being aware of the locks. Be aware of the root lock, the belly lock, the neck lock. Keeping the spine straight and supported by applying those 3 bandhas, those 3 locks. On each exhalation, chest comes a tiny bit closer towards the floor. Moving quickly, moving powerfully. Feeling this magnificent flow of energy in the body. Using the breath to be present, using the breath to stay with the movement. Beautiful. Expressing yourself authentically through your movement. We learn to express ourselves authentically here on the mat. It becomes easier to take that authentic expression out into the world. And inhale, coming back up to staff pose. Hold your breath, squeeze more bund, lift the pelvic floor, the anal muscles. What am I creating with my movement, with my breath? Take more breath in. And exhale, release, remain here in stillness. And we ask ourselves, what stops me from creating authentically? What do I believe about myself and the world that I feel that I can't create authentically? Beautiful. Coming onto your hands and knees. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And for the next movement, we're going to be working into Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra. So again, I want you to apply the 3 locks: Mul Bandh, lifting the pelvic floor; Uddiyana Bandh, pulling the belly into the spine; and Jalandhar Bandh, keeping the neck in line with the spine. And the movement is to, kicking the plants, reach back with alternate legs. And let's go. Make sure those 3 bandhas are really active so that we're keeping strong and stable through the core. And of course, we speak about the core in terms of physiologically, a strong core supports the spine. It keeps the body strong and healthy. It helps with our posture, walking, sitting, running. Everything becomes easier when the core is beautiful and strong. But metaphysically, this represents, of course, the flow of energy in the body. The chakras are related to this area running along the spine. And so as we activate Mul Bandh, we're reaching the very start of the flow of chakra energy. Uddiyana Bandh, connecting it in the middle at Manipura. And then the neck lock is activating throat chakra, Vishuddha. So these chakras are all being stimulated and engaged, invited into action as we keep them really strongly engaged during this movement. You'll notice if you release these 3 bandhas, you may start to feel discomfort in the lower back. So we feel how they're protecting the body physically and energetically. Beautiful. Just 10 more seconds. And take your knees apart, drop your heels, your hips, shoulders, forehead. And take a beautiful long deep inhalation. Squeeze Mul Bandh, lift the pelvic floor, the anal muscles. And experience the flow of energy through the spine. That beautiful healing white light warming up the spine as you hold the breath in. Taking more breath in. And exhale. What would I create if I wasn't afraid? What would I create if I was creating consciously? What would I create if I gave myself permission to be completely present all the time, without exception? Beautiful. Gently curling up and rolling over onto your belly, preparing for Salabhasana, Locust Pose. So for Locust Pose, we're going to lift the chest, lift the arms, and then lift the thighs off the mat, reaching everything up as high as we can. And we'll start by holding with long, deep breathing. Keep stretching shoulders away from the ears, hands up towards the ceiling or the sky, lifting the thighs off the mat. Beautifully present to these sensations. And remaining in the posture, begin breath of fire. Remember, with breath of fire, you want to feel your belly moving along the mat. Lift your chest up, lift your thighs up, beautiful strong breathing. And release. Hands underneath your shoulders. Push up and back. Feel that beautiful release in your lower back. Shoulders soften. Breath lengthens. Feel what you're feeling. I trust myself to freely express who I am. I trust myself to create consciously who I am. And very gently curling up and rolling over onto your back. Preparing for stretch pose. So the full expression of this posture is hands over thighs, feet off the mat, and breath of fire. Remember, if there's pain in your lower back, to simply bring your hands underneath your buttocks and do it this way. When we do this pose, we need to feel the movement of the belly. So don't let it just become a movement through the nose. The belly needs to be fully engaged and moving. And let's go. Lovely strong movement. You want to feel the belly, you want to hear the breath. If it's still too strong on your lower back, you can move to single leg raises, working really strongly into the belly area, but you also feel the throat. Notice how it feels to have the throat constricted. Be present to that sensation. Is there a wanting to run away from it, or are you able to sit with it? Notice how that feels. Last 8 seconds. And release. Well done. Just relax in Shavasana. Take your feet mat distance apart. Your palms facing up, your eyes closed. Feel what you're feeling. When we're creating consciously, we know that we can always trust the intelligence within. When there is doubt or hesitation, We know that we're not creating consciously from a space of authenticity. Authentic creation feels right immediately. Beautiful, hugging the knees to your chest, rocking gently side to side, and rolling up and over onto your knees. So we'll start in Vajrasana. Remember, if it's uncomfortable to sit on your knees, to adjust your posture, but we're going to come up now for Ustrasana, Camel Pose. Knees are just about hip distance apart, hands press into the small of your back. Press your hips forward and drop your head all the way back. Now we're focusing on the throat center and the sacral chakra, so we're pushing forward with the hips and we're feeling that extension through the throat. And let's begin. Head all the way back, breath of fire. Head all the way back, feel that vulnerability in the throat, press the hips forward. If it feels possible for you, you can always bring hands to heels, but only if you can keep hips in line with knees. Head back, beautiful. Feel that vulnerability, connecting to that part of ourselves that is true and authentic. And coming up, sitting back on your heels or another cross-legged comfortable posture. Tailbone tucks under, spine lengthens. Take a beautiful long deep breath in. Squeeze more bund. Lift the pelvic floor, lift the anal muscles. Apply Uddiyana band, Jalanda band. And exhale and just remain here. Remain in presence. Feel what you're feeling. Connecting to that part of you that trusts the intelligence within. Beautiful. We're going to move now on to some very gentle neck rolls. And let's go focusing on Vishuddha throat chakra. Feel the intimacy of this movement, so intimate because this is the point of our true expression. This is the point of authentic creation, authentic expression. And as you connect very deeply to the throat, to this chakra, we ask ourselves, change direction. We ask ourselves, if the throat could speak to me now, what message would it have for me? Opening ourselves to the possibility of receiving message. And if there is no message, that's absolutely fine. Maybe later in the day or the week, something will pop up and you will instinctively know that this is the message from your authentic self. And back to center, beautiful, long, deep inhale. Holding the breath, circulating the energy. And exhale. Feel what you're feeling. A beautiful, subtle flow of energy. And then we're going to do breath of fire, but with the tongue all the way out. Now, it really doesn't help to just stick the tip of the tongue out and be self-conscious. We need to really embody this movement. So sticking the tongue all the way out, almost trying to get the tip of your tongue to touch the bottom of your chin, and then practicing a beautiful strong breath of fire from there. And let's go. Almost immediately, we get a very unpleasant taste in the mouth. You may feel dryness in the throat. Just keep the tongue out and keep going. Feel the movement in the belly. It's a beautiful detoxification for the body. You feel the movement at the third eye, stimulating that pituitary gland. Keep the breath strong. Keep the breath powerful. Excuse me, keep going. Notice what it feels like in your throat. It can be really uncomfortable in the throat. So stay with that sensation, with that feeling, tongue all the way out, strong breathing, movement in the belly. And deep breath in. Hold your breath, squeeze more buns, lift the pelvic floor, the anal muscles, allow the energy to circulate through the body. Take more breath in as that beautiful healing white light touches every single cell in your body. And exhale. And as you come to the stillness, notice the atmosphere around your body. Tapping into that primal energy. Beautiful. And when it feels right, come to Sukhasana, to a comfortable cross-legged pose. And we're going to finish today with Brahmari Pranayama, bee breath. This is a very, very beautiful breath that helps us to step away from the senses and truly go within the body. To do Brahmari breath, we use the middle and index fingers to close the eyes, just lightly, so we don't push on the eyes, so just lightly touch the eyes. The ring finger goes above the mouth, underneath the nostrils, and the pinky finger below the mouth. And then we use the thumbs to press the little tiny piece of cartilage on the outside of the ears in towards the ears so that we're blocking out the sound. And then what we do, so we block the ears, close the eyes, shut the mouth, block the nostrils. We take a long deep breath in and we hum out. And you just hum for as long as your breath will go, and then you inhale and continue once again. So let's begin. Close the eyes, fingers either side of the mouth, pressing the ears closed by pressing a tiny piece of cartilage in towards the ears. Deep breath in. And take a beautiful long deep breath in. Squeeze more bund, lift the pelvic floor, lift the anal muscles. Allow the energy to spiral up your spine. Feel that beautiful white light reaching upwards, coming to the crown of the head. Hold it there. And as you exhale, feel that beautiful flood of energy through your body, hands to your knees. Notice the atmosphere around your body. And when it feels right, lying down on your mat in Shavasana or any other comfortable relaxation posture, maybe covering yourself with a blanket, and giving yourself permission to relax fully and completely, knowing that it is here in the space of deep relaxation that you are here. intelligence within you to create authentically, consciously, with pure love and divine intention. peace around, and peace in all the world. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And you can start to bring your awareness to the rise and fall of your chest. Very gently rubbing your thumb across your fingertips and moving your toes. And you can take your arms above your head, a beautiful stretch. Hugging your knees to your chest. Rocking gently side to side. And dropping your knees to the right as you look over your left shoulder. Changing sides. And coming back to center, rubbing the soles of your feet, palms of your hands together. And gently rocking up, coming to Sukhasana. Bringing your hands to your heart center. May the long-time sun shine upon us. All love surround us. And the pure light within guide our way on. Sat-nam. 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 May you honor your true being. May you freely express your creativity. And may you begin each day anew, creating from your heart. Satnam. Satnam. Have a very beautiful day.